Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, my first pickups video of 2025, and I'm going to be making a little bit of effort. I've done some gameplay videos, so I'm going to put a gameplay video of each game I show up in the top corner wherever it goes. So yeah, I can't usually be bothered with that, but I thought I'd make a little bit of effort today. So anyway, I've got a bit of a variety of stuff here. I've got some TI-99, some Speccy, what else have I got? A bit of music, Nintendo Wii game, and a Vectrex game. So yeah, a few bits and bobs. Yeah, I amassed quite a bit through December, and what with Christmas and what have you. Yeah, I thought I'd get on and do a video today. So I'll start off with some TI-99 games, and most of these are games which I either have played recently as downloads, homebrew games, or I've never played before. I think at this point now I've probably owned all of the games that we used to have when we were kids. We did have a lot of them, but there were some which released only in the US much later on, and we didn't get any of those here in the UK, or certainly in where we used to buy our games from, which was Parco Electrics. So anyway, the first one is Junkman Jr., which by the name you're going to guess that's a Jumpman Jr. clone, but it's really good actually. This was released in 1987, Data Biotics, so yeah, very late release for the TI-99. Yeah, should be having some gameplay running, hopefully. But yeah, very good. Very happy to have that one. So how am I going to stand these? I'll try and stand them sideways. See how well they stack. The second one is called Star Runner. Now I always thought Load Runner was the first one, but I think there was one called Star Monster or something. Again, I'm going to put some gameplay up in a corner. But this again, Data Biotics as well, I think. Yeah, 1987, so another late one. Really good game this, really happy to have it. And these all came from the US, these that I'm showing. Very difficult games to find here in the UK, so I bought some of these. I bought from somebody called Keith, who's got a shop. I might put a link down below, I can't remember the name of his store now. But really nice guy, he does videos as well, so he's got a channel. Might put a link down below for that as well. But yeah, really nice guy, I had good communication with him, and I bought I think 3 of these games from him. So yeah, that's where Junkman Jr. came from. It's where Star Runner came from. And also the next one, which is an older game, but again, this isn't one I ever owned. I think this might have been in the UK, but we didn't own it. And that is called Snegit. Now, I don't have the instructions for this one, so I have been trying to sort of figure it out as I go. But basically, you're the sort of chicken there. Hopefully, again, there'll be some gameplay footage showing. But you're the chicken, and you've got to go around basically trying to save the eggs and put them back in the nests. In the meantime, you've got the snake there, as you can see, going around. He'll try and eat the eggs, and I think he'll try and kill you as well, if I'm not wrong. But I think you can kind of bite either his head or his tail, one or the other, to sort of move him away. But yeah, quite a good little game. Quite slow paced, but I've only played it on easy settings, so it might be quite manic in a faster setting. I don't know, in a harder setting. This next one I have played before. I did do a video of it actually ages ago, comparing it to the Spectrum version, and that is a favourite of mine on the ZX Spectrum, Flying Shark. This is by Rasmus, I can't think of the surname now, Rasmus Mouseguard, I think it is. Fantastic. It's based off the Spectrum version. Again, hopefully there'll be some footage playing. Based off a Speccy version, but plays really nicely. A lot more use of colour, and I think the difficulty is just a tiny bit less, which suits me actually. I really enjoy it. I've played it quite a lot on a download, but I really fancied getting the actual cartridge for that one. So these homebrew TI-99 carts, you won't get them in boxes, sadly. They only do them as cartridge, but better that and nothing, and most of my TI collection is cartridge only anyway. So that's that. These came from Arcade Chopper, by the way, the Flying Shark and the next two. So I sort of took advantage and thought I'd make a bit of an order. Again, this is before Christmas, I think. So the next one is Grail of the Gods. I think this is taken from a television game, if I'm not wrong. There are a few versions of the game on here. I think 2 different developers were basically developing versions for the TI-99 at the same time. I've only played 2 of them so far. I'll have some footage running. But yeah, quite interesting. It's kind of like turn-based dungeon crawler, I suppose. And you just kind of fight your way through. The enemies don't move, but you can kind of attack them. So it's a bit of an RPG. You collect gold and what have you, and you can upgrade your sword, things like that. But yeah, quite interesting. Very nice to have. So yeah, not too taxing, but quite interesting and a cool, relaxing little game. Let's have a little sip of my beer. I'm drinking lager today, but lager with soju, the Korean drink. They certainly onto something with this mix, because mix a bit of soju with lager. It tastes absolutely lovely. I'm not really a lager fan, but yeah, that mix is really good. So cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday once again. Right, so this next one, another Specky favourite of mine. This was probably my favourite Ultimate play the game on a ZX Spectrum. It would be between that and Jetpack. But that is Sabrewulf. Huge fan of Sabrewulf, always loved that, still do. And this is, again, I think it was Rasmus that did this one. Yeah, Rasmus Morstgard, I think it is. I haven't got my glasses on. I need my glasses now for a small treat like that. But yeah, stunning version of Sabrewulf. Very much like the Specky, but if anything, a little bit easier. And I quite like that. I've definitely got further through. I think I managed to almost complete it the other day, which I've never completed Sabrewulf after all these years. So yeah, really good. Happy to have that on 2 platforms. Well, 3 actually, because I've got it on a BBC Micro as well. So yeah, very pleased to have that one in the collection. And then I got one more on a TI-99, and this one was a huge bonus, because this one was actually advertised and photographed as just a cartridge and manual, and that is a Funware title. I've got 3 or 4 of these now, I think. But again, I'd never seen these when we were young. I'm pretty certain our local TI-99 shop, again I mentioned Parco Electrics, I don't think they sold the Funware titles. And that game is Rabbit Trail. But when it turned up, not only did it have the cartridge and manual, it actually had the box as well. And the box wasn't shown in the pictures, nor did it mention the box. So I was really chuffed with that. So yeah, there we go. And everything's inside there. Fun little game, actually. Of course, mentioning I didn't own it when we were kids, so I hadn't played this until recent years. But I'm not going to say it's as good as Donkey Kong, but it's a little bit on those kind of lines. So basically, you're a rabbit, you start at the bottom, you collect your carrots going up through, and you'll see the little, hopefully if the gameplay footage gets added, which I'm hoping to do, you sort of go up through those little black sections to go up to the next level. So you've got to get to the top and collect the carrots on your way. But as it goes on, it gets harder, and you get things coming from the bottom of the screen as well. Weasels, I think. And there are some of the little black sections which are just basically like little hidey holes. You can't go up to the next level in them. But yeah, very good. Very good. So really pleased with that. And to get the box, that was a massive bonus. I wasn't too bothered about having a box, but of course if I can have it, all the better. So I'll have a little sip of my beer, and then we'll carry on with some Spectrum. Right. So these all came from, these were the next set of Midnight Brew games. They tend to do them in packs of 5, and I've got all of them so far. I think they're all great. Really like them. Very impressed with the Midnight Brew games. I think these you can still buy, by the way, physical if you want them. If you just Google Midnight Brew ZX Spectrum, it'll come up. But anyway, the first one of those is the classic Pac-Man RX. Massively better than the Pac-Man that we had on a ZX Spectrum. But we did get a really good Ms. Pac-Man on a Specky. I think I still prefer Ms. Pac-Man, but it's good to have that. So again, hopefully there'll be some gameplay playing, but yeah, good little game, really impressed with it. So that's Pac-Man RX. Next one I really think a lot of. This is fantastic. And that is the arcade game Scramble. Scramble RX. One of those games where I just don't know how they did it on the Specky. It scrolls so nice. And that sort of sideways scrolling like that, you know, it wasn't something you saw very much on the Specky, that smooth. So yeah, it just plays really well, really good version of it. And it's all there. So yeah, fantastic on a developer. I don't know who the developer is. Oh, Alan Turvey. Graphics and sound by Alan Turvey. Yeah, I've got a thing I've met him, you know, at Crash. Sure I do. But anyway, yeah, really good. So highly recommend that. I recommend all of the Midnight Brew games, to be honest. They're a great little collection. And I like the way they're all uniform in the sort of spines. This one is the game I've played the least so far out of them. It's called Mustachio. This is kind of a little 2D platformer. Seems quite good, but I just haven't played much of it to give much of an opinion on it. So I need to give that some more attention. I had a lot all turn up at once. So obviously I've sort of got my favourites which I'm playing. But yeah, I'll definitely come back to that and play more. It seems quite good. Again, nice graphics. Nice sort of feel to the gameplay. This one I think is a remake or a re-release. Dingo. Got a feeling it might have been a Spanish release. Didn't know it, never played it back in the day. I didn't really know anything about it. but I'm sure I've seen this before, and I've got a feeling it's quite a rare game. So, but it's quite a good game actually. I really enjoyed this. It's my type of thing. It's very much like the Atari game Crossfire, I would say, in gameplay. But if it's showing some gameplay there that I put in, basically you get bonus points for collecting 3 of the fruits, whichever the ones it shows there. You don't have to, but if you could collect them in 3, you get bonus points. And you've got to collect all of the fruits on screen while sort of shooting the enemies. But yeah, definitely got a sort of, what did I say, Crossfire? Yeah, Crossfire sort of feel to it, which is good because I like that game. So yeah, Dingo, another good one. And then the last of the Midnight Brew set is called Maze of the Robots. I think the developer was giving this away free as a download actually recently. Yeah, so it might be worth checking out. If you look on World of Spectrum, I think it was on there that he gave a link to it. But this is basically, what's the game called? With the robots in it, with the mazes. Oh, how the hell could I forget? Not Robotron. Berserk. Yeah, this is basically Berserk on a Specky. A good clone of it as well. But I'll be honest, I think I've mentioned before, the first game I had like this, which I thought was an original game, was Shamus on the TI-99. I do prefer Shamus, so I'm not really into this. I've got a good version of it on the Vectrex as well. But it's definitely a good game. It's good development on there. And I think if you've got one of those Kara speech things for the Specky 48K and it's modded, you can get speech just like in the arcade. So yeah, I'm definitely happy to have it, but not really. It's the weaker of the games for me. That's no slant on the developer, just that I prefer Shamus. The next one I got really cheap actually. Now this is a guy, he's got his own channel actually. He's called ZX Bags. And this game, he mentioned, I think he'd been developing this since the early 2000s, and he finally finished it. And it's called Legend of the Burgle. I've only just had my first little go of it just now, because like I said, I've got a lot of games here to play. I had a little go just for the video, just so I could take a little bit of video gameplay of it. Seems quite good actually. It's one of those ones where you sort of push something around to collect. If the gameplay video's here, it'll be self-explanatory, but yeah, he did this. I think he did it all sort of fairly cheaply, but yeah, fair play to him. He's chosen really nice companies to get the stuff done. There's 2 bonus games, I think, on a B-side as well. But yeah, really nice little package. And he sold this literally, he was selling them on eBay. I think it was something like £3, £3.50 with free postage or something. So he certainly did himself short there. So I hope if he does any more games, I hope he charges more, because he definitely should do. But yeah, really happy to have that, give him some support. And yeah, seems like a nice guy, and fair play to him for getting his own game out there. Apparently that was always his dream, was to release his own game, you know, as like an official retail release, and he did it. So yeah, fair play. Nice little artwork as well. So that's that one, Legend of the Burgle. And the last Specky game is, this was a Jarrell Software game, but Jarrell never released it, and it was released under the Encore range, and that is Spitfire. Yeah, good little game. This isn't one, again, not one I played back in the day, but fantastic graphics. It's a little bit lacking in the sound department, but it plays quite well once you get to grips with it. And yeah, the graphics are really impressive. So I don't know why Jarrell never released it, but yeah, nice to have that. I've got most of it, if not all of the Jarrell Software games now. So yeah, I thought I'd grab that. I've got that from Facebook. I think I only paid £3.50 delivered for that one as well. So yeah, did really well on those. Oh, there is one more TI-99 game actually, which this one I picked up, literally arrived just a couple of days ago, and this is a cassette software. So this is the only one I won't have a gameplay of, and the Wii game, because I haven't loaded it yet. I have to sort of change things around a little bit to load cassette software. But that one is Lantern Software Daddy's Hot Rod. Yeah, never seen this before, so I'll be quite keen to give it a go. I think it's a TI Basic, so it's not going to be you know, anything special. But I think I've seen a screenshot of it, and it's like a vertical driving up and collecting stuff maybe, or just avoiding the obstacles. But didn't pay a lot for it, so yeah, very happy to find that. So that goes into my TI-99 cassette software, which I don't have many of. So yeah, that's very good. And after that, what have we got? I'll show you the Nintendo Wii game I got, and this is. James Retro Import Gamer's always recommending this, and I do really fancy playing some sort of shooter games. I've been thinking about getting a light gun for the Specky actually, to get that fix. But I picked up Ghost Squad for the Nintendo Wii. I still need to set up my Nintendo Wii downstairs on our TV, but when I do, I'll be giving that a go. So I haven't got any gameplay footage of that one. But it looks good actually. It looks a very good game. Not easy to get for me because I've got an NTSC American Nintendo Wii. I bought it. We were living out in Argentina when I bought that one, so you can get this really easily, PAL, but it's not easy to get the NTSC copy. So that turned up. I think I paid about $5 delivered for it, but yeah, looking forward to playing it when I get the setup ready for it. So there we go. So James, if that's rubbish, that's your fault. So there we go. And then the last game-related one, I mentioned before that the Cheetah Bug was possibly my all-time favourite joystick. And I found that one boxed on eBay. And there was a picture of the actual joystick itself, which I'll show you in a second. So it's all boxed, which is nice. But what caught my eye is the fact, I don't know how well this is going to come out on a video. I can't see the camera because I'm using the back camera, so the screen's on the other side. But I don't know how well you'll be able to see this, but there's actually, you always get the sort of circle around these where people have been using a joystick, and there's no sign of any use on that. So I thought, I've got a feeling that's absolutely unused. And it was all wrapped up like it. I have used it now just once, and it's super clicky, and there's no sort of bend or anything in a joystick, which I tend to get after a bit as well. So I don't think that's ever been used personally. I think that is basically brand new. Yeah, so I'm really happy I grabbed that one when I saw it, because I had a feeling, I just looked at it and I couldn't see the sort of that usual scuff, so I thought, right, I'll grab that. And it was only something like 15 quid. So yeah, there we go. So I'm keeping that box for now, but I definitely will be using it. Really love the Bug. I think it's such an underrated little joystick. So, and yeah, getting a box is a nice little bonus because it looks nice on the shelf. So that's that one. And then what I've got left, just a bit of music to show. So just have another little top up. Music and a Blu-ray as well. I haven't really picked up any VHS or anything, I don't think, this month or last sort of month or so. So yeah, a couple of music cassettes. This one I've been after for ages, not easy to find in this country, annoyingly. And that is Ex Mal Deutschland Viva. I used to be nuts on this. I listened to this album so much. Never understood half the lyrics of the songs because most of it's in German. There is some English as well. But the sound, it just brings it all back listening to this. I still think it sounds fantastic. It's got a really unique sort of sound. Kind of punky, a bit goth punky, I suppose. I don't know quite what you describe it as. Don't know how I found out about the band. I always used to love them, and I never seemed to know anybody apart from my best mate that had ever heard of them. But yeah, really great and a cracking album. I think I paid about 20 quid for that. So yeah, not a cheap one, but not easy to get hold of, and it's all in nice condition. And thankfully, it plays perfect as well. Really good sound. So yeah, absolutely thrilled to have that cracking album. So Ex Mal Deutschland Viva into the collection. And the other one, which I was going to buy the vinyl of, I found the limited edition. I can't remember, it was like a turquoise vinyl, I think, of Beth Orton Trailer Park, which I used to have. I used to really like this. That got cancelled because apparently they didn't have it anymore. So I saw there was a new old stock, still sealed cassette on either on Amazon or eBay. And I thought, you know what, I'll grab that. I used to have it on CD, but I don't have a CD player in the lounge anymore. But I do have a really nice cassette deck. So yeah, I picked that up on cassette. Great to have it again. Really nice album, this one. I think that's probably the best of Beth Orton. But she did have some other nice ones as well after. But yeah, if I can pick up a new old stock sealed cassette, all good, because they, at least not stretched or anything like that. And then I've got a couple of vinyls to show. This one I got with some Christmas money. These were from the Black Friday sale on Amazon, actually. I think I paid about 16 quid for this one. And that is Spiritualized Laser Guided Melodies. Never had this album back in the day. Really enjoy it, actually. It's a good album. I don't know how well rated it is, but yeah, really good. So yeah, I got that one. And that was well worth the money. I did pick up another one, actually, and the Black Friday sale was cheap. And that was Sneaker Pimps Becoming X. But it had the original artwork before they did the sort of re-release with the sort of more pop edits of the songs. But it did have the pop edits of the songs in it. It was the sort of remix versions of it, and I never liked them, so I returned that one. The other album I got is Saint Etienne the Night. That's a new release. Kind of another sort of chilled out one. I do prefer the last album to this one, but it might be a grower. I quite like it. I like that sort of more chilled out stuff instead of a sort of more kitsch pop that they released lately. So yeah, enjoying that. It's nice splatter vinyl. I missed out on the original release, which was like a clear, translucent teak kind of colour, which I'd have preferred teal kind of colour. But that's quite nice anyway. So yeah, but it's Saint Etienne. I always like Saint Etienne. And then, oh yeah, I've got one more game here. I keep forgetting about this one because I don't have an actual cartridge for it. It's just a little, I don't know how you call them, just a little the board basically. And that is Vector Blade. This was a Christmas present from my sister actually. It turned up just in time. So yeah, many little thing. This is the only one I forgot to do a gameplay video of actually. So if I remember, I'll edit it in. If not, you can look it up. I highly recommend this game. Fantastic. And to buy it this way, it's really cheap. I think I only paid, or my sister only paid, because she wanted to know what to get me for Christmas. So I said, you can get me that. And I think it was about £22, £23. So well worth grabbing. It does actually come with a little label. So if you've got a sort of cartridge which you don't want anymore, you can, repurpose it with a little sticker there. I don't have any spare cartridges, unfortunately. But I quite like it like that. It's quite good and very, very good game. So really recommend that one. If you want a link to where I bought it from, just let me know in the comments, and I'll let you know where it came from. So yeah, Vector Blade for the Vectrex. And then the last one, good old Scott Sega Zombie recommended this to me. I had seen this at Crash Live 2023 actually, and that is the Rubber Keyed Wonder, but I didn't know it was available to buy now, just in general release. I got this in HMV, and I haven't watched it yet, even though I've seen it before, and I got the special edition. My HMV didn't have it. They just had the standard Blu-ray, the single disc, and I think it was £13. But this special edition has got a 2-disc, and there's quite a lot of extra stuff on it. So I got them to order it in, and that was 20 quid for that one. So really looking forward to sitting down and watching that again. I've got a feeling it might even have the Micromen documentary on the extra disc. I'm not quite sure. Can't remember what's on there. But yeah, so that is basically all of the stuff I've grabbed. I've no doubt forgotten stuff. I always do. I always forget bits and bobs. But nonetheless, that's quite a lot of stuff there. So yeah, that's that. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope my gameplay videos make it into the corner of the screen. Like I said, I just thought, I'll make a bit of an effort this time. I'm always lazy. And I know people prefer to see a little bit of gameplay. So I thought, I'll sit down and give it a go this time. So if you did enjoy them, let me know. If you want to see any or if you want any further info, or if you want to see any more gameplay of any of the games that I've shown, I'm always happy to do gameplay vids. So yeah, that's that. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you another time. And that is all.